William H. Snyder. I was born at Washington, Kansas, and my parents had moved to eastern part of Kansas in 1939, and so I grew up, went to Admiral High School, graduated in 1941. I was 17 years old, and of course I was too young to think about flying, so I wanted to. A lot of young men were going into the aircraft building industry and so forth, and so I wanted to get into sheet metal school, but they wouldn't let me in until I hit 18 years old, or I had to graduate and be 18. So anyway, I got started ahead of time, and finished my gunnery or my sheet metal school, and immediately went to work for North American Aviation in Kansas City, building B-25s. Started when I was 18. I worked till 19. I was 19, and was drafted in June of 1943, and had a nice letter of recommendation from North American Kansas City to go into the Air Force. And I think that helped me, but I have no idea. I think they were putting you in whatever service needed. They needed people. But anyway, I was placed in the Army Air Corps, sent out to Buckley Field, Colorado for my training, basic training, and from there I signed up for the Aviation Cadet Program and was accepted. Went to the University of North Dakota, Grand Forks, and took my aviation cadet training, and got to California. And of course, we had heard that they had excess aviation cadet students, and we had been told we probably wouldn't graduate or wouldn't be accepted. So anyway, went to San Ana, California, and the whole group was marched up in front of headquarters and read the act to us that we were no longer needed and be reassigned. And so anyway, while I was waiting for my reassignment, there was a notice on the bulletin board that they were looking for aerial gunners. And I signed. We didn't know where we were going, but we were in a great big convoy. It took us 15 days to go from Camp Patrick Henry, Virginia, to Naples, Italy.
What were the conditions, weather conditions on your trip over?
Were terrible.
How did people react to that?
Oh, well, there were a lot of sick passengers, motion sickness, and we thought we got along pretty good. There were 55 combat crews aboard that graduated from our class, but then you were pretty much over motion sickness, because you weren't going to fly combat in an aircraft if you got motion sickness. It just didn't work. So I think we got along fine, but there were a lot of other people on the ship that didn't. And so it got kind of, messy, stinky. And the ship was too many people on it. We had bunk assignments that were good for 12 hours. We had to get out, let someone else have it for 12. We had 2 meals a day, and not ideal situations. Got to Naples, and I think there were like 105 ships, sunken ships in the harbor, and we had to dodge those ships to get into to the harbor, or the docker ship anyway. And then from there, I think we bivouacked in a little, I think there were pup tents overnight, and I think the next day or so, we excuse me, took a train. They were about like cattle cars on trains over to Foggia, and were assigned to the 463rd Bomb Group, and that's how I got over there. So,
Did you stay with your same crew that whole trip?
the whole time until we lost a member, and then we had replacement for that position the rest of the time. But every mission I was there, I flew with the same crew.
Same plane?
No. Somebody else would take it up and wreck it for us.
What were the circumstances that you lost the crew member?
Over Ruhlin, Germany, on the 22nd of March of 45. Anti-aircraft fire got him. He was a tail gunner. And just went through and got him.
He didn't survive.
No. No, we were around 30,000 feet, and it was 50, 60 below zero, and it went clear through, and all we could see was the back end of the airplane fill up with, fog and so forth. And